about 2027 alone, the next generation of leadership. For example, I come from Meru County, Igembe North constituency, and Meru farmers are crying. Miraa is 170 bob. Daddy inauma, mami inauma. We have to step out. We have to make sure that we are doing the right thing as youth. And that's why all these great leaders that are here today, we are talking even with pain, because as we look, nothing is about us, and we want things to be about us and the future generation. It is time to step out, and the winners don't just step out, they step out and they make sure that it has happened.
Power to the young people, power. Power. Power to young leaders, power. Power. Power to the jobless, power. Power. Power to the landed, power. Power.
Kanithi, Tharaka constituency. We are here to make a statement on the need for this country to rewrite its history, more specifically, its leadership and political history. Now, in every generation, the population of intelligence is constant, regardless of when that generation was formed. And we are here to say, the Kenya we want to see going forward cannot have been defined by those who came before us. Therefore, this is to say, we want to write our political history to suit our needs, demands, and even wants. Now, the good book says, come, let us reason together. That must be Isaiah 1:18. So we are in a moment of reasoning together, calling people of all generations, even those who came before us and they feel that probably they got shortchanged along the way. We are calling them into this movement of alternative leadership. And we are saying, we cannot have a country whereby we call ourselves a democracy and the participation does not mean anything. Ordinarily, a democracy is defined by participation. We want to be participants and active participants of whatever happens in this country. And we have to say this categorically. In a state of emergency and confusion, leaders emerge. We are not saying that we are in a state of emergency as a country. Constitutionally, we are not saying that we have a constitutional gap. But we are saying we feel that there is a big gap, or rather a chasm, between the public perception and the empirical reality. The public has been meant to believe that the country is heading to the right direction. But the reality is we are heading to the wrong direction. My brothers who spoke before me have said about the debt. The levels that we are talking about today are worrying. That can never be, by any measure, the right direction. Today, our democracy, the participation that has lacked has led to handouts replacing sovereignty. But we are saying the people must have a voice, but the handouts cannot have a voice in a democracy. So that's why we are saying we want to rewrite our history, and we are calling upon every person, whether young or old. But as my fellow brothers said, we are very uncomfortable with the ruling class. We must rewrite our history. We must ensure that the tomorrow that we need start being rewritten now. So back to the question as to whether we are affiliated to some characters that are vying or rather that have expressed interest in the presidency, we are saying this is a moment of reasoning. If for any reason they feel this is the movement they should come to, and the movement would take it kind enough to nominate them for that office, so be it. We'll have our own systems of vetting, we'll have our own systems of democratic agreements and that kind of thing. But as at now, nobody should be cheated out there, whether young or old, that this is group. We are not anybody's foot soldiers. This is a group that is out to write our political and leadership history. If you feel you've been left behind and you must be part of this history, we are calling upon you to come. And we want to ask young people to take an active role in this democratic process through this leadership movement of alternative leadership.
I will ask you my next question. You people are preparing to vie for different positions in the upcoming government.
Very true so.
Currently, the IEBC has reached its final decisions trying to come up with the commissioners and the IEBC changes. Yet we all are seeing the finalists of the IEBC commission.
Yeah.
We have currently the two finalists, is Amadi and Wambui.
Sure.
And these are people that are rumored to be affiliated to the current regime of the President William.
Yeah.
How are you so confident that you are going to dethrone this government, yet even in the positions where decisions are determined on who will be, I mean the electoral body commission which determines who has been elected or who won and this and that, there are no people from this generation of viewers that are there.
Yeah, so for clarity purposes, this is not a movement about withdrawing a government. This is a movement about giving back the people, the power to the people. This is a movement about calling people of this nation to come together and reason about their future. Now, in a democracy, numbers got a meaning. My good brother talked about 18 million plus. Whoever the referee is, as long as the young people of this country and those that resonate with this call come out and vote, and after voting, they safeguard, they wait for the votes to be counted, and then we put it out there on media. We are extremely confident that whoever the referee is, this game is ours for taking.
And my final question with regards to the IEBC, do we have any members here who are currently buying? Because as we know, there are some constituencies who currently don't have leaders. Do we have any members from the coalition that are buying?
Many of us here are vying in different constituencies. We may not be. We don't have someone who is vying in in the next by-election. In this press, but they are in our movement, and we'll be able to support them. That is why we'll be having our first litmus paper, but many of us will be vying. And for clarity purposes, I'll be vying for member of parliament for the Raka constituency. Yeah.
We can give
Gender balance.
Okay. So, good afternoon, members of the press. My name is Peter Emmanuel Ngugi, a young leader in this nation. And today we called in to give a brief statement. One of importance is calling for actions for other young leaders in various constituencies to come up and position themselves as leaders in the various areas, that is MCAs and members of parliament. It is evident that Kenya has been in a campaign mode. The various factions, some in the government, some who are defectees of the government, have been up and around the country in campaign mode. We are coming in as young leaders to call for other young leaders in the various positions to show up and also to start to present themselves as options. If we have to be masters of our destinies, then we have to be masters of decisions that influence these destinies. Many a times the young people have been positioned to be used as people to join the streets, and every time you see youths coming together, you will imagine them is just to join the streets. This time round it's different. We're here as a call in the wilderness to other young aspirants, members of parliaments, MCAs, governors, and even senators who believe in the movement that has been happening in the country. That has been evident from time memorial. Last year, we saw the youths coming together, getting in the streets, advocating for their rights on issues, finances bill. We saw other people coming up and riding on their blood and taking roles. And when they did take their roles, some have sided with the government, some have sided with opposition. And it tend to appear like the country has shortage of young leaders. We're here just to put it straight that the country has no shortage of young leaders, and we're calling for every young leader back at home to present themselves as candidates in the coming election, because it is very evident that the country is already in a campaign mode. So this is a call for action to just ask young leaders to present themselves as options and do not be deterred. Do not feel wary or afraid of the myth that has been there that you need to have money or you need to come from a political party for you to win an election. We're here to tell you you as you are present yourself as an option. And not only present yourself as an option for these positions, but reach out to another young leader. Use the social media platform to reach out to another and another and another. And let's form a web of young leaders. The difference this time round will be, it is not the first time that people have presented themselves as independent candidates, as young leaders, and won various seats as members of parliament. The difference this time is we will be many. And therefore, this is a call for action that tujitokeze, tusijitokeze tu, tushikane pia. And also to give hope to others, because we've seen some come up in groups. And to make this clear, this is just a carcass of various young leaders from different positions. Others are vying in various constituencies, others are civic educators, others are even just passionate about the change of this country.
Maybe the challenges that youth have undergone that make you guys to come up with such a decision.
We've seen the various challenges that youths have undergone. Youths have been used as puppets to pass information, and once they are killed in the streets, different people are given the seats.
Yes.
Those are challenges. The reason is because youths have not organized themselves. That's why you're asking them to come out and form a web. The only solution to this is present yourself as a candidate and connect with another youth leader doing the same thing in a different area, because it is true.
What does youth want for this government to do?
I think I would like to give that chance for someone else to answer. But before I do that, allow me to say, we are not the same people who show up every day and say, we want the government, we want the government. This time round, the difference is we want to be part of the government. And most of them say, mwache kupiga kelele social media, tupatane kwa ballot. So this is us coming to say, other youth leaders, present yourself as candidature in the ballot. And do not wait.
Yes, maybe as youth leaders, maybe you receive their demands. What are their demands? What do they want?
If you'd want me,
Yeah, we can just switch.
no, okay.
Press, I'm Mugani Mugo, and I'm a civic educator. First of all, let me say that we have come together, not just as young leaders or upcoming leaders, but as citizens that are dissatisfied with the direction in which our leadership is being steered. And we are living in very interesting times whereby truth has become dangerous. Critical thinking is being treated like rebellion. Social media expression is being treated like treason. And we've seen government advocates of good governance being maimed and being criminalized. And therefore, it is a deity matter that we need to revisit. And it is a moment that we need to come together as young people and as civic educators so that we can protect our democracy. I'd urge my fellow young people and fellow civic educators to come together across the nation so that we can impact the mind of the voter. I want to say that a ballot box is not something to joke with, and the choices we make at the ballot box are so powerful to influence generations. They are so powerful to influence the quality of the service delivery in our country. They are so powerful to influence the strength of our independent institutions. Therefore, we cannot continue making democratic choices on ignorance, on sympathy, on voter bribery, and even on tribal basis. Therefore, our call as young people is to know that this is our chance to come together and take up leadership. We cannot be retweeters, slogan chanters, and always cheering up the oppressors and the politician. And it is high time as young people of this nation, we stop treating politicians like celebrities. We must treat them like leaders or service, public service officers, whom we must hold accountable, whom we must ask questions. Therefore, we must rewrite the way things have been done in this nation. We must change the narrative whereby someone comes up, says that, you know, nilifukuzwa kambi fulani na nataka mnipatie kura because mnihurumie. We cannot use sympathy as a basis of vetting leaders. We cannot use the fact that someone was fired from a particular docket as a basis of giving them an elective position. What we want to say is that we will vet our leaders based on merit, because we've been disappointed enough and we have learned from our mistakes. One thing that we don't want to do, we don't want to pass this mantle to the next generation. Therefore, I would say that voting on sympathy is betrayal of democratic progress. We must elect people not because of their surnames, not because they come from particular royal families, not because they gave us 500 or gave our mothers 200 and some lesos. We must vote our leaders based on integrity and the performance from even dockets they have held previously. I would say that leadership is not a consolation prize. So we are not here to award the best person or the best victim who was crying on a podium. We are not here to award someone because they were chased from a particular ministry, a ministry that maybe they did nothing when they were in power. I'd like to urge our fellow young people to take up leadership position, not just to be spectators, but to be participants. But even before we become participants, we must know that we cannot participate in a democracy we don't understand. We cannot participate in a system we don't understand. So one of my call as a civic educator is to enable the voter to understand the system, is to enable the voter to understand the democratic process and the impact that particular democratic choices have to the future of this nation. Therefore, we must stop looking at politicians like celebrities. We must stop looking at political positions as impossibilities, because we are capable and we don't have a shortage. The other day, we saw the government recycling people. In fact, it is even removing people that are in power to give them appointed position. Yet we have technocrats in this nation. We have young people that are learned in this nation. We must rewrite the history of how things are being done, and we must change the narrative. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Collins Lugongo. I am a youth leader from Kakamega County, and today I'm just joining other leaders from different parts of the country, from different counties, all the 47 counties, to come together and build our cohesion and solidarity in ensuring that we rewrite the history and the political history and governance of this country, Kenya. So young people are suffering and they are subjected to a number of challenges and issues that are affecting their lives. Segregation in terms of job opportunities and even development and growth opportunities is one of the challenges young people are really facing. Unemployment, like today, over 5 million Kenyans who are young people, they have been subjected to a lot of economic inequalities, whereby young Kenyans do not have money in their pockets. And young Kenyans also are suffering because of these issues that are being spearheaded and even propelled by the political class. Today, you realize that young people are the ones who are being found in social crimes, social issues, economic challenges that we are facing as a country. Even in security cases, you could even see cases from Mombasa, cases from Northeastern, cases from the Western Kenya, whereby most of the participants, most of the criminal gangsters, they are young people. Reason because these people have been alienated by the government, by their own leaders. And it is also very sad that the same political class is taking advantage of the young people by subjecting them to the political handouts. And this inhibits them from even focusing on their own lives and how they need to develop. So what we are gathering here today, and our key message, is to call every young person across the nation that we want to build a strong, friendly movement that is going to spearhead the leadership that we've been missing since even independence. Because our main aim, our main goal here is to rewrite the political history of this great nation of Kenya. And we don't want, and even we are not going to give time to the leaders to see them taking our country into a mess. Why? Because they are going to destroy our future. Our future starts today and even started tomorrow, and it is still there. It started today It was there yesterday and it's there tomorrow. So we have to secure and safeguard our future, not unless we also want to see them just taking this country to another direction. Lastly, a very good example, you can see what happened in Eldoret, the human organs trafficking. It was involving young people. Why? Because these are people who are facing economic challenges. How do you sell your own kidney that supports your life at 400,000 shillings when somebody else is going to sell it at 3.2 million to make a profit? Simply means it is a wake-up call to the young people. We must speak in the same narrative. We must speak in the same volume. We must speak the same language in this country so that we can be able to liberate ourselves from the political slavery and even economic slavery, because we are the same people that are going to suffer. My friends gave very good examples in the government. So we want also to dictate the leadership and governance of this country. We don't want to see people who are just being selected, not on merit-based criteria. And they are taking these positions, they are taking the public office positions, and they are not even able to deliver. And at the same time, we see our country just running into a mess. These are some of the things that we are going to address. Lastly, we want to call upon all the young people across the country to take political positions wherever they are, to take leadership positions in whatever capacity they want to go. We want to encourage them. They should never give up. Myself, I was on the ballot in 2022 in Chevaya Ward, a rural community. In 2027, I'll still be on the ballot, because I want to also be part of the team that is going to rewrite the political history of this country. How do we achieve that? Not unless we are on the decision-making table, not unless we are there to participate in policy-making procedures and processes. We cannot make that change. So we want to encourage all the young people to also participate in the elections, to also participate in selection of leaders, and they should also convince themselves and even dare themselves to be on the ballot. And we are going to support them because we are building a base, a very strong base countrywide that is going to liberate the voice of young people. So it is a call, a wake-up call to all of us and a call to action to all the young people across the nation. Thank you.
Maybe you need leadership, I mean support from our leaders to pursue this initiative?
Very well. We will not say that we don't need that leadership, mentorship from the other leaders, but the point is we already have our own strength. We are not taking those positions. This team is here to encourage, inspire, and just trigger that inner potential of that young person who is still doubting and doesn't believe in himself or herself. This team is enough to do that. We are going to provide that mentorship to our brothers and our young sisters. So we are very capable of doing that.
We'll be seeing this, that there is a chance for us to change our country for good. There is a chance for us to rewrite politics of this country for good. There's something that I want to say. If youths are old enough to die in the streets, then they are old enough to lead. Yes. Let not these old guards try and tell you that you're not old enough to lead. Leadership does not come from age. I want you guys to understand, we are the people that we've been educated by Kibaki, we've read the Constitution, and we are learned. The literacy percent has increased. So I want to urge every other youth, stop thinking about the popularity, stop thinking about the resources. The first thing that I want you guys to do, get back to your homes, register for the votes, so that 2027 we can go to the ballot and make a choice out of merit, not popularism. Statistics indicate that 35% of this population, that is 18 to 34, are around 18 million, 15 million to around 18 million. That is enough. 10 million strong yenye Raila alikuwa anasema, that is enough for the youths. Bila hawa wazee. You have to understand that. So I want to encourage you. Let it not be like 2022 where 2 million people, 2.3 million youths are the ones who voted out of 8 million who had registered in the last election. So this time round, wewe chukua kura mahali huko. Go and take your vote, go to the ballot, vote and protect your vote, starting from the MCA. Ni venye tupigi kura chief, but starting from the MCA. Go there at home, mobilize. And I also want to call out other young leaders who have been moving around the country that tunawaona do the good job, and there are others who have been paid, there are others who have defected and now they are masquerading as people who are with the youth, but they are not. I want to call upon the youth, as you're doing this, because I know you are learned, be very keen whom you support, be very keen whom you follow. Look at what they've been doing from the past. We want to change leadership, and we cannot change leadership with the same people who are masquerading around with the old guards, who are trying to tell us that I'm in the government, but I'm not. You see? So I want you guys, as young people, it's high time. You are the people who have been told that the future is here. Now, today is the future that you are being told that the future is coming. It is today. There is no other future that you are going to expect. 5 years from now, most of us will be around 34 years. And when you add another 5 years, we'll be around 40 years. There is no youth who is 40 years apart from those who are in this government. We want to end that shenanigans of putting 50-year-olds to represent the youth. They even don't know how to use a smartphone. They cannot engage in AI things. So I want to urge the youths. I want to urge the comrades. Please fight for your country. There's no one who is coming to save you. Fight for your country. I want to repeat again. Fight for your country. Fight for your country. I'm repeating that again. I'm saying this with pain because I have seen mothers crying they have lost their children. I have seen people in Eldoret doing organ trafficking. A young man who is learned, I've interacted with them, they're selling their kidneys, and a politician comes, makes profit out of it. Then there's another one that comes and tells us now that we want to extend this term to 7 years because we are Christians. I'm also a Christian, but we cannot do policies based on religion and everything. So I want to encourage young youths. Go and take your votes. We will be launching a voter registration campaign coming soon, and we will move everywhere. Everywhere. When you see us, whoever it is, we will be moving everywhere to make sure that every young youth and every young aspirant has an opportunity to get to the ballot and change this country for good. Thank you.
Oh, viva.
Viva.
The members of the press, my name is Silas Kerrosi, all the way from Nyamira County, down there to the Nyanza region. The call today is to the young people down there. We have seen the challenges that the young people are facing, the challenges that we ourselves never perceived that we could come and face to this kind of generation. My call is to that young person out there who is afraid of coming out. You have seen what the government did last year. We will not sit back and relent. As my colleagues have said, there's no shortage of young people in the country. This is to call for action. We have seen what the government is doing. The dishing out of the letters of teachers, that is based on who you know in the government or what amount of money do you have. So as you can be able to be given those letters. The young people are laying down. We've seen out of the current generation that graduate from the Kenyan education system, almost 1 million from across Kenya, but they are rendered jobless. We want to change this, and this is by us coming out, coming together, creating this ecosystem. Reach out. We are here to call you. Come, be strong. We are here to support each other and call for action for those members that are out there. I myself, I come from down there. Reach out so that we can be able to stand and be able to propel this nation to the greater heights. That is my call for action, and thank you, the members of the press.
So my name is Ephraim Oina, and I'm a leader without a title and an aspirant of Thika Town constituency member of parliament. And we are here because we decided not to sit down and just complain. We are here because we know that we can offer an alternative leadership. If we live here without anything, just know that we are enough, and we are here because we can offer an alternative leadership. I would want to, maybe I would not want to belabor what my colleagues have spoken about the need of all of us to come together and change the course of this country. However, I would need to talk about the political bad manners in our country. You know, yesterday, just recently, we saw the head of state in China And I'm reminded about the debt that we have as a country today. We are actually at 11.02 trillion shillings in debt. That is almost 70% of our GDP. And you know what that means is that the international community is not willing to lend us anymore because we cannot pay back. And that's the reality. We are in deep. And what we saw the other day is that now companies choose to invest in Kenya instead of giving us finances because we are not trusted. But I have a problem with that because these countries are coming, the companies are coming to invest here. And what that means is that Kenyans will be turned to laborers. All the production and manufacturing will go away. These people do not have an interest in Kenya like the way we do here as young people. They are out here for business. And we will definitely just be laborers. And it's a very, very unfortunate scenario. But we are saying we are here because we want to condemn the bad manners that we have seen in politics. And why I say that is because what we are not being told is that as these people come to invest, the kind of deals that have been done, the kind of deals that have been made are catastrophic. We have had confessions from very senior people, including the former CS, Justice Boturi, about how these deals happen. And again, I say, they do not have our interests at heart. This country has become a country of deals. For you to get a job, for you to get a tender, I'm an entrepreneur and I have tried doing tenders for over 6 years. Today, for you to get a tender, there has to be a kickback. You have to know someone, and it has gotten to a point where it is so shameless, they do not even hide asking for that kickback. When you get the jobs, just check around and see the people who are being appointed. Meritocracy has been thrown to the dogs, and it's very unfortunate. But again, we are saying we are here to offer alternative leadership, and that will happen. That will happen because together we are strong. Together we are strong. We are strong as leaders.
Okay, maybe speaking about the president in China and the debt. What are you guys expecting as a youth? What do you expect? Do you expect more debt or is there anything coming from China?
First of all, when you ask about what we expect as young people, that's one thing: accountability. And accountability means that people are going out there with genuine hearts. We are going out there to look for money, for funding, for investors to help us as a country, not for personal gain. The issue of personal gain has been there. We have 1,001 examples of how the leaders we have are doing that for their own personal benefit. And just to say, we may not have a problem with the older generation. Maybe that could be a mistake. We have a problem with the ruling class. We need the older generation for mentorship. There are people who we look up to today. There are people who are leaders that we can say that they have done something and they mean well, for sure. But the ruling class now is something we probably totally do not want to hear about, unfortunately.
Let me ask you a question. In terms of young leaders, as you are the representative of the young leaders, currently there are a lot of functions that we are terming themselves young leaders and also representatives of the young leaders who have already made it known to the Republic of Kenya that they will be seeking the presidential seat ahead of the 2027 election. So for you, as the young leader, which function are you joining hands with? Because currently we have so many opposition which are opposing the government.
Okay, as I will allow my colleagues to answer that question. However, as a group, we are not affiliated to any faction. We are not affiliated, and that should go out. And our call is very simple, is that we have the power as a people, and our call is to call everyone out here that we can come together, be together, strong together, and offer an alternative leadership. The question of affiliations may or may not come, and that is not a question now. Our rallying call right now is to bring people together, so that together as one. I'd want to allow my colleagues to also respond to that.
What we are requesting is that we carry on with the interviews. Everybody gives their name, then we can have a Q&A.
We need to stand out as ourselves, not being included with other leaders, just as other people or other youths have done. We need to stand firm. We need to rise up as our own, not being affiliated to other parties. I think you've got me. Number two, I will only raise an issue about what the control of budget has been saying. And I will use myself and from the place I come as an example. In the report that the control of budget gave, you saw that amongst the MPs who are being questioned on how they have spent their money for NGCDF was the MP for Bomachoge Chache. That is Honorable Alpha Meruka. You've seen him recently, I think the other day he was defending himself. But I want to say that if you went to Bomachoge Church right now, in fact, you can confirm that there's nothing that is being done. It's a wheezy bila kazi. And I want to call out the MP, and I need him to come out clear and say where he has taken all the money. Because right now, if you go to Bomachoge Church, there are so many stalled projects that have not been completed. And you know what is so funny? The MP claims that he's the son of a pastor. I don't know how it comes about that we always use we always use our religion to come and seek votes from people. I'll come and tell you, Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Now people will say that I'm a good Christian. Someone will come and say, mimi ni mtoto wa pastor, watu wanamwonea huruma. I don't think whether we're going to go to that direction coming forward. We will want to see leaders, not based on how you go to this church or you this kind of person. We want to see people who have or who carry the lives of the Kenyans at their heart and at their hands, not the people who today you will just elect them, the following day they will be just out there maybe abusing Kenyans or doing something wrong to Kenyans. So that's why as young leaders, we've just come out. We need to stand firm and moving forward. I want to tell you and I want to promise you that come in 2027, either rain, shine, or whatever that will be there, I'm very much sure that so many of us as young leaders, we are going to be seated on that table. We always say, kama hatutakaa kwa hiyo meza itafanya nini? Itavunjwa. So all of us must be seated at that table, even if it means that the president, we must be seated there. We need to align our politics by inclusivity of the youth. Because even when you saw the convoy that was going to China, I saw a certain clip, someone who was saying that kuna wazee wanawakilisha vijana huko na wamelala. I don't know how that one happens, but I'm hoping that things will be better. Come 2027, we're going to stand firm and we are going to claim it. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you should hear it.
Yes.
I do think that you will not be entitled anybody to clear that.
Being entitled to, sorry?
Affiliated to any political
Basically, I think what we're saying is that this.
Thank you, members of the press. My name is Manassi Joffrey from Meru County, Igebc North constituency, and a leader of an organization called Moika Ones, an organization that seeks to recognize, inspire, and celebrate outstanding personalities within Kenyan communities. I have come here to join join my fellow leaders who believe that there is need for change. I'm come here to make sure that I respond to this greater call, a call to our young people, a call to young people to tell them to step out. The wait is over. Time is now. We need to shape the generation leadership. In any case, we need to remind our nation that that leadership is not about next election. It is about next generation. In our current trend of our leadership, they are not concentrating on next election. They are not concentrating on next generation. They are about next election. We are here to say, as this movement, that we are tired. We want to shape the next generation of leadership. Not about 2027 alone, the next generation of leadership. For example, I come from Meru County, Igembe North constituency, and Meru farmers are crying. Miraa is 170 bob. Daddy inauma, mami inauma. We have to step out. We have to make sure that we are doing the right thing as youth. And that's why all these great leaders that are here today, we are talking even with pain, because as we look, nothing is about us, and we want things to be about us and the future generation. It is time to step out, and the winners don't just step out, they step out and they make sure that it has happened. We have the right mandate, we are equal to the task, and we are going to do it, and we must do it, and the time is now. Thank you.
Sasa ile slogan yenu bwana.
Power to the young people, power.
Power.
Thank you for this opportunity, members of the press. My name is Asman Omondi, and I'm a youth leader in this country. I have come to throw my weight behind my fellow youthful leaders here, and we've talked about this time and again in this country, that we need young people to take up the leadership mantle, and I believe deeply that the time is now. And I want to first start by addressing a question regarding the Iebc. The only influence that William Ruto will have on the Iebc is his own personal vote that he will cast in the ballot in 2027. Other than that, nothing else. And I want to challenge the people who are going for these top IBC positions, that they carry the future of this country in their hands. And history has judged others harshly that have played around with that big responsibility. So I want to challenge them. Let them take this big responsibility very seriously. And as Kenyans and as young people, before, and as you saw in 2024 during the protests, we are not going to take anything lightly, whether it comes from the political class or people who have been given positions of leadership and positions to change the course of this country. And right now, as my fellow leaders have said, this is a clear clarion call to all the young leaders. Get yourselves out there, register to vote, and present yourself as candidates. We must rise up, and our time is now. Let us not take this matter seriously. We are going to make sure that we take back our country from the hands of corruption. And I want to address one particular issue. I am a Christian myself, and we have seen time and again politicians invoking the name of God to do the devil's work. We are not going to allow this anymore. Whether you are from any religious affiliation, we want to call upon you, members of the clergy, all religious leaders in the country, do not entertain any politicians that are known to go against the will of the people. It is power to the people, and power to the people now. Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Robina from Busia County. And this afternoon, I just want to concur with what my colleagues have said, that we have a crisis in this nation that needs to be addressed. And we've decided to come out as youths to speak about it and to call on other youths as well, so that we can be able to come out, register as voters, so that we can be able to work on things that are not going right. Just as my colleagues have said, we are being told that the country is going in the right direction, but when you do the analysis and look at what is happening around, things are not right. Let's stop lying to each other, to our leaders who are there. Things are not right. And we've just decided to come out as youths and to speak about it and to urge other youths to get out. The time to fear is over. These seats can still be taken by youths, and it can only happen when we come together in unity. Just as my colleagues have said, and as the Bible says, that where there is unity, God commands a blessing. So if we need to forge our way forward as the youths in this nation, we need to come out together in unity. We need to speak in one voice. We need to speak in oneness and give out a strong statement that it can be done by the youths if those that are in power right now have failed to do it. And I just want to call out on the youths that even as we will be going out on the registration of the voters and all that, I call out on the youths that let us come out in big numbers. Let us come out and make a statement. Let us come out and work out things for the betterment of our nation. If we don't do it right now, then nobody else will be able to do it. So I urge all the youths to come out so that we can be able to speak in oneness, in one voice. We can be able to register. And in 2027, I urge you that we come out in big numbers and make a difference and rewrite the history of our nation. Thank you so much.